We're at Studio Stage Door in Cranbrook on 11th Avenue, catching up with the Cranbrook Community Theatre's Terry Miller. Hi, Terry.
Hello, Dennis.
Nice sitting here. This is a neat old building.
It is a neat old building. It's well over 100 years old now, and we've looked after it very well. And one of the advantages is we've developed this 83-seat theater. It's a really nice, intimate space. It's great for theater, and it's great for musical events as well, singer-songwriters and so on.
Well, we advanced to 2018 very quickly. It's just ahead of us, and you've got shows for January, February. We'll start with the opening month then.
Sure. Well, we're doing, every season we do 3 what we call core shows, and then we try and do a special, and the next show that comes up here in January is a special, and it's done as a co-production with the Key City Theatre, and we will actually be presenting it in the Key City Theatre. It's a big old musical called The Producers, written originally by Mel Brooks. Very irreverent, very funny, and we're doing a terrific job of trying to make it a big, booming musical. We have incredibly talented people involved in it, singing, dancing, sets, props, costumes. We've been very fortunate to pull some really, really talented people together, and it's a big operation, cast of 25, and a crew of probably another 20 in order to run this show.
You get some nice surprises though, because I know that not everybody's professional. Some come to you, they want to be a part of the Cranbrook Community Theatre, and you fit them in somehow, don't you?
We do our very best to, yeah. It's one thing that we really try and do is always bring new people into the shows, whether they're backstage or on stage. It's very, very healthy for us to keep bringing new people in. And there's an incredible amount of talent out there, and sometimes it's courage. And with sufficient courage and with sufficient coaching, we can oftentimes turn someone that you wouldn't think would be able to present well on stage, give them the opportunity to get out there and really do a fine job.
The turnaround time really isn't, it's fairly quickly, because you've got people that don't get to come every day and do that. Some homework, I guess, on their own time, or I don't know, acting at home. What do you recommend for some of the people that are new to acting? What do you tell them to do at home to prepare themselves?
Learn their lines.
Learn their lines. I see.
It's, but you're absolutely right. This is not professional theater, although the caliber of theater that we present is often at professional levels, but it's done in a fairly extended time frame. All these people have jobs, families, things to do in their world, and they squeeze a few hours out of their week in order to practice, rehearse, get ready for this, and then of course during productions it's a fairly big time commitment then as well.
You've mentioned the producers for January, but really you kind of keep going. You've got momentum going into February too, don't you?
We do. We'll be presenting a show here that opens February 9th, I think it is, called Plaza Suite, which is written by Neil Simon. And it's an interesting, very interesting piece for us, because it's a 3-act play, but the 3 acts are 3 totally separate stories. The only common element is that it all takes place in room 719 of the Plaza Hotel in New York City, and 3 different stories. So what we've done is, in an effort to bring new people in again, we've gone to 3 different people in our theater community who have been really itching and preparing themselves to direct a play, and we've given each of them an act to direct. So from an audience perspective, it'll be really interesting, because they'll be able to come and see not only 3 different stories that Neil Simon has written in order to, and in an effort to try and tie some of the psyches together, but now you're going to be able to see 3 different directors' takes on it, as far as what they're doing for costuming, what they're doing for general attitude, general movement. There's a dramatic difference between, dramatic's maybe not quite the right word, but there's a significant difference between the way each director would handle a situation. And so the audience gets to not only experience the story and the presentation, but the kind of nuances of what different directors would bring to the show.
I kind of have to wonder, being in Studio Stage Door and seeing 83 seats here, is there more pressure? Because the audience is right on top of you, and nobody gets a bad seat here if they come to watch a show.
No, absolutely. And I'm not sure whether it would be really more pressure. Maybe, perhaps it is when the audience is further away. You get to live a little bit more away from it. But at the same time, theater's a very interesting production because the energy that's on the stage and the energy that is in the seats feed each other. And every cast member will tell you that a different audience will make them respond differently because they're getting a different kind of an energy. So for example, if you get an audience that is enjoying every joke and laughing loudly and being very boisterous, they're putting a lot of energy back onto the stage that the actors can feed off. Whereas if you have a more subdued audience that aren't laughing at every joke and are sort of thinking about it and they're smilers rather than laughers, then that means that the cast have to work a little harder to keep their energy up so that they keep feeding energy to the audience. It's a very interesting dynamic that occurs.
Oh, I think as soon as you bring them into a facility like this good old building, I think it must get everybody revved up that way.
Yeah, it's audiences really appreciate this building. Again, for theater, when they're looking at the people on stage that may only be 5 feet away from them, and for singer-songwriters who, this building has a reputation in that industry for being a terrific spot to come and play. We've had some really, really top-notch groups and individuals in here over the years.
Before we let you go here today, what's the best way to get tickets if people want to stay ahead for 2018 and be ready for these two?
Probably the best thing to do would be to stay in touch with our website or our Facebook page, but our tickets are always, we use Lotus Books as a sales spot. Now, that being said, for the producers, because it's a co-production with Key City Theatre, tickets are on sale there at the moment, and they're looking after all of the ticket selling. But ordinarily, all of our shows, the ones that are located here, would be sold at Lotus Books.
Thank you for your time today.
Is there time to add one more thing?
I think so.
All right. I'd like to just comment that we're doing something new and exciting this year. We've created what we call the Abbott Awards, and it's kind of our version of the Tonys or the Oscars. It will, every show that Cranbrook Community Theatre does this year will be eligible. In May, all members of the Cranbrook Community Theatre will be able to vote on their favorite actor, production, director, and so on. And it's an interesting new thing for us. We're quite excited. Bud Abbott has happily lent his name to the award, and so audiences that are coming out will have the opportunity to remember what was going on and an opportunity to choose their favorites in May.
Very good. Terry Miller, Cranbrook Community Theatre, here at Studio Stage Door.